of the ongoing effort of the federal government towards the promotion and development of indigenous capacity.
Nigeria begins domestication of railway engineering and other transportation sciences as President Buhari breaks ground for a transport university. Nigeria signs memorandum of understanding with a Russian firm to improve local fertilizer production.
Now that they are closed, we have recorded over 30% in domestic fuel consumption.
Border closure. Federal government assessment delegation lists gains in the Northwest Corridor. A very good evening. Welcome to the Network News, broadcast live here in Abuja. I am Muhammad Kudu ABUBAKAR. Thanks for joining us. We'll join Michael Olale in our Lagos Network Center later in the course of the bulletin. We start the news in full on a heartwarming note that work has started in earnest on the construction of the Transportation University in Bora, Katsina State. This is in furtherance of the federal government's commitment towards domesticating railway engineering and general transportation sciences in the country. Status correspondent Adam Musabo reports on the groundbreaking ceremony for the institution, which is the first of its kind in West Africa, by President Muhammadu Buhari.
The University of Transportation project, expected to grab 18 billion naira, is being constructed by a Chinese consortium, CCECC, as part of social responsibility for solely handling Nigeria's various railway development and modernization projects. Performing the groundbreaking ceremony for the project, President Muhammadu Buhari said the engagement of the Chinese company goes beyond the contractual obligations on the railway projects to that of continued focus and concern on operation and maintenance after the construction period.
This project is part of the ongoing effort of the federal government towards the promotion and development of indigenous capacity through technology acquisition and knowledge transfer to effectively maintain and operate the numerous railway infrastructure. Although this is an investment by Mrs. CCECC, the federal government of Nigeria will facilitate the success of the institution.
The federal government, he said, will continue to prioritize the participation of indigenous application of local content in the development of infrastructure as a component of the economic recovery and growth plan. This, he said, informed the Executive Order 005 and other related policies and programs aimed at encouraging the establishment of local indigenous industries and institutions to support and maintain the nation's critical infrastructure.
As you are aware, this administration accords priority to the development of our country's railway transportation. The project is expected to have multiple effects on the economy as well as on life of students and Nigerians in general. It is therefore imperative for host communities and general public to support government efforts by cooperating with the contractors in safeguarding and protecting these valuable investments and assets.
Governor Bello Masari of Katsina State, who speedily granted approval of 413 hectares of land for the university project, appreciated President Muhammadu Buhari for making it possible for the institution to be sited in Katsina State.
I wish to assure the federal government that Katsina State government will provide all the necessary support and assistance for the successful execution of this project.
I have no regret, Mr. President, citing this university where I have cited. And I repeat quickly that I was influenced by nobody. So if I'm being accused of psychophancy, let me admit in advance that I'm psychophantic.
There were goodwill messages from, amongst others, the Minister of State for Education and the Chinese Ambassador to Nigeria.
We at the Ministry of Education are committed to licensing and reviewing all the course programs that will be offered here. Our belief is that this goes to further our core objective of producing for Nigeria the manpower that is needed to drive our collective existence.
China highly values its strategic partnership with Nigeria, guided by the principle of sincerity, real results, amity, and good faith.
Apart from the university project located in Sandamu local government area of Daura Emirate, CCECC is also committed to the localization of manufacturing of railways and railway-related infrastructure towards bridging the technology and skills gap in the railway subsector. From Daura in Katsina State, Adamusambu, NTA News.
Correspondent Oyina Kudu Oka in Katsina also reports on several other perspectives shared by key players in the transportation industry on the commencement of the work at the University of Transportation in Daura, Katsina State.
It is a historic event here at the ancient city of Daura, the hometown of President Muhammadu Buhari, for the groundbreaking ceremony of the University of Transportation. It is the first specialized institution of its kind in Nigeria, a corporate social responsibility of Chinese government expected to create employment, encourage local capacity development, and pave way for the localization of manufacturing of railway materials and domestication of rail science and engineering in Nigeria.
It's going to be very, very far-reaching, you know. Transportation in Nigeria is a key sector, very, very important sector. But unfortunately, we don't have any particular university dedicated to transportation. By the time the university is up and running, people will know how to redesign roads in modern way.
It's a major milestone in our quest to achieve local content capacity, to build our own domestic expertise.
The construction of the university is expected to cost about 18 billion naira and to be funded by the Chinese government alone.
Their own contribution to the development of transportation in Nigeria, so that we can have the human capacity to manage what we are presently building.
The university is expected to be completed in 2 years, and there is plan to establish similar one in Rivers State. Oyina Kudu Oka, NTA News.
Still in Katsina State, President Muhammadu Buhari demonstrated his conviction that road infrastructure is critical towards enhancing security and livelihood of citizens in rural communities. State House correspondent Adamusambu posted the president took the time to inaugurate one of the new road projects executed by the Katsina State government.
The 28-kilometer Randa Dogro Gullu Kwanargwanti Shargalle road is one of the 18 new projects with a total distance of about 510 kilometers embarked upon by the Mali administration at 36.1 billion naira. The road, one of the 10 so far completed, links 3 local government areas of Mashi, Dutsi and Mayadua.
I would like to congratulate Your Excellency for your infrastructural performance in an area which I have some idea about. This is very good, and this is what will matter if we can do the infrastructure that will help in food security by making transportation easy to the center of the populations.
Aminu Bello Masai told the president that 10 other existing routes covering over 300 kilometers are also being upgraded at nearly 12 billion naira, while 2.8 billion naira is being expended on 39 feeder road projects across the state.
If you want to improve the quality of lives of farmers and people in rural communities, you have to open up so that they can access markets where they can sell their produce and buy inputs at a reasonable price. Otherwise, if you leave them landlocked, somebody will come, will buy off at a very, very low price from them, then he will bring inputs at a high price. So I think by opening up, you are increasing the economic activities of the communities. And again, by opening up, you are making access to education easier. And we believe that it will improve the socio-economic activities of the area and of the people.
Apart from the provision of roads, Governor Bello Masari said 25 new buses have also been acquired for the state transport company, now providing services at subsidized charges. From Daura in Katsina State, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
On a bilateral note now, Nigeria and South Africa are strengthening collaboration to improve transport infrastructure for mutual socio-economic benefits. ABUBAKAR Usman Akwanga reports that the renewed commitment is centered on changing the narrative of road network on the African continent.
It is an established fact that African continent faces infrastructural deficit, which is said to slow development. Now the private sector is being wooed to increase fiscal support and promote key components of addressing the deficit, particularly in road infrastructure.
We encourage indigenous investors to optimize their participation.
The swiftness with which this event took place signals positive energy between South Africa and Nigeria.
We will learn from history, not just cases of success story, but even challenge successes, which I believe will teach us how not to structure bad projects.
Senate President Ahmed Lawan, represented by Senator Adamu Haliru, says the government's huge investment on capital expenditure in the annual budget cycles demonstrates strong will to revitalize the sector.
The enabling environment provided by government and the ICRC guidelines will ensure that the private sector becomes an important development partner for the government to augment the shortfall.
The plan here is improve road network to serve as a catalyst for stimulating direct foreign investment and increasing citizens' access and participation to domestic economic activities. Stakeholders identify checks and balances in contract concession, effective tender process, quality documentation and clear scope as instrument for addressing 2% annual losses of gross domestic product from poor infrastructure and promotion of economic integration on the continent. In Abuja, ABUBAKAR Usman Akwanga, NTA News.
No date has yet been approved for the reopening of Nigeria's land borders, and that's coming from President Muhammadu Buhari. The president said this when he granted audience to a delegation of the Katsina elders who paid him a visit in Daura. President Buhari told his guests that his administration is betting on measures to rekindle agricultural growth and save the country billions of naira in fuel import bills. State House correspondent Adamu Sambu reports.
President Muhammadu Buhari told his guests that following the border closure, the country's domestic fuel consumption is now down by more than 30%. The land borders, he maintained, will not be reopened until things improved. He, however, commended his Nigerian counterpart, Muhammadu Isufu, for taking some measures, including the dismissal of alien officials and banning the use of his country as a dumping ground for Nigeria-bound smuggled items. This, he said, were helpful to the situation in the country. President Buhari acknowledged the hardship of border communities following the ban on the sale of fuel at stations 20 kilometers to the border, a restriction that has seen the closure of all fuel stations in Daura. The action, he explained, is to allow the Nigeria Customs Service to ascertain the outlets involved in the bona fide sale of the products and those that are used for smuggling. The representatives of the chairman of the Elders Forum, Alhaji Aliyu Sawalawa, had commended the president and Governor Aminu Bello Masari for curbing the menace of bandits, kidnappers, and cattle rustlers in the state. He, however, made a case for a special intervention fund towards assisting victims of those attacks, the completion of the 10 megawatts wind power project in the state, the setting up of a Northwest Development Commission, as well as the Ruga farm settlements, which he said are urgently needed. At another forum, President Muhammadu Buhari said Nigeria's socio-economic and political salvation will only come from education, and therefore urged the citizens to embrace learning as a way of life, while the government will do its best to provide access. The president, who was honored in his country home to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the founding of Daura Community Secondary School, said he became an orphan at a young age, but his 9 years in boarding school and joining the army shaped his life. President Buhari and 5 others founded the secondary school as community service. From Daura, Katsina State, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the northwest corridor of Nigeria's border, affected by the ongoing border closure, has recorded the highest success in terms of reduction of irregular migration. Head of the federal government's high-powered delegation assessing the exercise and the Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed stated this when the delegation visited Jibia border post in Katsina State. Here is Anthony Folsom with details.
Jibia is a town and a local government area in Katsina State, northwest Nigeria. It has a landmass of about 1,037 square kilometers. It is situated along the Nigeria-Niger border. Ironically, this border has been associated with a large-scale smuggling activity, thereby denying Nigeria of its rightful use. Jibia border is known to be the roadway for smuggling in prohibited foreign items into the country. In continuation of the investigations to border posts affected by the drill, the federal government's high-powered delegation arrived Katsina and proceeded to Jibia. Leader of the delegation and Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed, alongside the Minister of State for Industry, Trade and Investment. There, the minister pointed out how fuel smuggling, illegal migration, importation of arms and ammunition has threatened the security of the region.
The main reason for embarking on the drill is to protect our country against transnational security concerns such as smuggling, proliferation of small arms and light weapons, migration, as well as terrorism.
For instance, on this stretch of road, measuring less than 1 kilometer, there are more than 20 filling stations, a deliberate move to aid smuggling of the product with ease.
The closure of filling stations along the border is a huge success. There are hundreds of filling stations along the border. They were set up purposely for smuggling. They don't sell the fuel they receive to the public. Over 50% of them are owned by foreigners. Now that they are closed, we have recorded over 30% in domestic fuel consumption.
Assuring the people of government's intention, Lai Mohammed said,
"This exercise is not targeted at any region in the country. Neither is it designed to cripple businesses in any part of the country, as some conspiracy theories have been insinuating."
Of heartwarming, the minister said the arms and ammunition being used by violent extremists and criminal elements no longer make their way into the country through the land border. From Jibia in Katsina State, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
This is the Network News on the NTA. We have more news up ahead just after the break. Join us.
I better go. I feel like say I don't take style finish.
When they're supposed to buy for they will not buy. We look here. It's still that same 200 naira for it. We will still buy.
Okay, 200. You can put your usual abi.
Yes, but you go add 8 journal.
It's a big level.
Is it not 200 you give that lady?
Now 888 is that.
888 now the new AWOOF. Recharge with star 888 star pin hash to enjoy 5 times AWOOF from MTN to call any network. You fit also enjoy am on top VTU. Just ask your vendor for AWOOF for you.
Conductor, where my naira change?
Office man, you know they forget money sef.
Oh, forget. You go even hide 888 join that shit. Give my change.
President, Association of Retired Career Ambassadors of Nigeria, ACAN, Ambassador Ladapo Fafowura, cordially invites the public to the launching of the maiden edition of the ACAN Foreign Policy Journal. Chairman Chief Launcher, His Excellency Dr. John Kayode Femi, Governor, Ekiti State, and Chairman, Nigeria's Governors Forum. Special guest of honor, His Royal Highness Muhammadu Sanusi II, CON, Sirkin Kanu. Co-launchers, Senator Ahmad Ibrahim Lawan, President of the Senate, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, Speaker, House of Representatives. Date, Tuesday, 3rd December 2019. Venue, The Rotunda, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Tafawa Balewa House, Central Business District, Abuja. Time 11 a.m. For details, please call 0803-426-2377 or 0803-4877877 Ambassador John Kayode Shinkaye, First National Vice President, Akan announcer.
Think about them. No be only cloth this sewing machine they make. If you put food for your table and roof over person head, can you go ogbonge fashion show around the world? Find the cocoa inside every story. Go bbc.com/pidgin to see more of your world.
The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukuru Yusuf Buratai, on behalf of officers and soldiers of the Nigerian Army, announces the commencement of 2019 Chief of Army Staff Annual Conference, which will be held at the Kaduna International Trade Fair Complex, Zaria Road, Kawo, Kaduna. The theme of the conference is application of cutting edge of the Nigerian Army in tackling contemporary security challenges. Date: Monday 2nd to Friday 6th December 2019. Time: 9 a.m. daily. Venue: Kaduna International Trade Fair Complex, Zaria Road, Kawo, Kaduna. Special guest of honor: President Muhammadu Buhari, President, Commander-in-Chief of Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Nigerian Army, pride of the nation. Colonel Segiri Musa, Acting Director, Army Public Relations, announced.
The Non-Academic Staff Union of Education and Associated Institutions welcomes NASU members, distinguished guests, dignitaries, and members of the public to her 7th Quadrennial National Delegates Conference, hosted at the Kwali Conference Center, Sheraton Hotel and Towers, Abuja, on Tuesday 3rd to Thursday 5th December 2019 at 10 a.m. each day. Chairman, Mr. Godwin Obaseki, Executive Governor, Edo State, Special Guest of Honor, Senator Chris Ngige, Honorable Minister of Labour and Employment, and the Chief Host, Comrade Ayuba P. Waba, President, Nigeria Labour Congress. The union will confer her highest honor on the following eminent Nigerians: Mr. Godwin Obaseki, His Excellency Professor Babagana Umar Zulu, Malam Adamu, Senator Chris Ngige, Professor ABUBAKAR Rashid, Professor Ishak Oloyede, Professor Mrs. Victoria Adobi Obasi, Professor Babatunde Lawal Salako, and Comrade Mrs. Ladi Ilia. At this conference, we will set in motion the action plan for the next 4 years. Prince Peters A. Adeyemi, General Secretary, NASU, announcer. In commemoration of the United Nations International Day of Persons with Disabilities, which holds annually on December 3rd, the Honorable Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Hajia Sadia Umar Farouk, welcomes all stakeholders to the 2019 International Day of Persons with Disabilities in Nigeria, with the theme Promoting the Participation with Disabilities and Their Leadership, Taking Action on 2030 Development Agenda. Date: Tuesday, December 3rd, 2019. Venue: Rockview Hotels Royale, Wuse 2, Abuja. Time: 10 a.m. prompt. Anetu Ane Aliu, Permanent Secretary, announcer.
1.5 million naira.
3 million naira.
500,000 naira.
75,000 naira.
10 million naira. 900,000 naira.
My house rent.
Family savings. My children's school fees.
My trading money.
My business capital. My contribution money of 1 whole year.
Over the last decade, Nigerians have lost billions of naira to illegal fund managers. Dreams and businesses have been destroyed. Family savings and livelihoods wiped out. Do not join the growing list of victims shown on licensed operators who offer extraordinary returns on investments. Say no to illegal fund managers. Invest and save your hard-earned money with only officially licensed banks and financial institutions. This message is brought to you by the Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC.
Thank you for joining us with the network news. Travelers this festive season may have nothing to worry about, as the federal government says there will be steady supply of petroleum products during the tide. This assurance was given at the end of a stakeholders meeting chaired by the Chief of Staff to the President, ABUBAKAR. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
Group Managing Director of NNPC, Melekolo Kiari, says a robust plan is in place for the supply and distribution of petrol across the country.
And we are assuring Nigerians that the NNPC has made adequate arrangements to make a robust supply of petroleum products. There may be issues, but we have come together with all other agencies of government to ensure that those issues are resolved and that Nigerians have very, very Merry Christmas.
We've met with our contractors and directed them to provide some palliative measures to ease the movement of trucks and tankers.
Also at the meeting is the Inspector General of Police, Muhammad Adamu, and representatives of the Chief of Naval Staff, Chief of Army Staff, and the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps.
We have increased again the level of security and dedicated some officers to make sure that products are moved freely without any attempt to divert products from where they're supposed to go.
For clearance of vessels, we are in close collaboration with NNPC that the vessels will be cleared as soon as they come into discharge, and we actually are going to prioritize providing armed guard for vessels that will move from Lagos to Port Harcourt and Calabar as get the request from NNPC.
As always, we are ready to support the Nigerian police, the NNPC, and the Nigerian civil defense in ensuring that the petroleum products are freely supplied to all parts of the country during this yellow tide season.
Urge our staff to shun corruption on the road, to ensure that fuel supply gets to their destination.
Other stakeholders who pledged their commitment support to NNPC and the federal government in ensuring availability of petroleum products are the National Chairman of Petroleum Tanker Drivers, Brian of Nupeng, and the National President of Nigeria Association of Road Transport Owners.
NATO as a critical stakeholder in the supply and distribution value chain is committed to support NNPC and the government in ensuring availability of petroleum products.
That we take product to every four corners of Nigeria, that the product will not, there's not going to be scarcity or whatever.
The meeting emphasized that no stone will be left unturned towards ensuring that this commitment is achieved. And the State House, Jide Onifade, News.
In the agricultural sector, more than 19 million bags of fertilizer have been produced under the Presidential Fertilizer Initiative headed by Governor Muhammad Badaru Abubakar of Jigawa State. It is an initiative instituted by President Muhammad Buhari to make fertilizer accessible to farmers at affordable price. In addition, Nigeria has signed a memorandum of understanding with the Russian company for the supply of potash, an important ingredient in fertilizer production. State House correspondent Deonifadi again reports.
The signing of the agreement is another step forward by the federal government in making the nation self-sufficient in the production of fertilizer and a boost to agriculture. Managing Director of the Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority, Uche Oji, signed on behalf of the Nigerian government, while Dmitry Konyaev signed on behalf of the Russian company that will supply the product. Jigawa State Governor and Chairman Presidential Fertilizer Initiative, ABUBAKAR Badaru, says the agreement with Russia is another milestone.
What we have just witnessed will help in stabilizing the price of NPK that we produce locally. And if you recall, for the last 3 or 4 years, Nigeria have been producing its NPK by itself, buying only phosphate from Morocco. Phosphate from Morocco and potash from Russia.
Between 2017, when the Presidential Fertilizer Initiative started, and now, more than 19 million bags of fertilizer have been blended at a price of 5,500. More importantly, as observed by the Managing Director of the Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority, Uche Oji, some of the blending plants that were moribund have been revived.
And this chapter of our engagement is a new phase in the whole PFI program. So we continue to work towards ensuring that we fulfill our own conditions, which is ensuring that the commodities are brought in on time, blended on time, and distributed to farmers.
A serious future for cooperation. Of course, right now we are signing a contract which permit to bring potash at a very competitive international price to Nigeria, and not only to the country, but I think we have to develop our cooperation on the next steps, how to make this product more available and affordable for the farmers.
That is the confirmation of what has been discussed in Sochi between our presidents, a confirmation of our intention to work in concrete terms for the welfare of our countries.
Of staff to the President, ABUBAKAR, and the Russian ambassador to Nigeria witnessed the signing. In the State House, Jide Onifade, NT News.
The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development has emphasized the federal government's commitment to ensuring that all beneficiaries of N-Power scheme receive their due payments. Ruth Ogule reports that the reassurance became necessary following recent agitations for approval of payments of October and November 2019 stipends to N-Power beneficiaries.
It was a huge burden lifted from a lot of young Nigerians who became beneficiaries of the federal government's N-Power scheme, geared towards economic empowerment under the Social Investment Program in 2016. 16 months on, the N-Power beneficiaries are yet to exit after the expiration of their contract, which is why the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development is making efforts to develop an exit strategy and also ensure their due payments within the stipulated guidelines.
The Ministry also wishes to assure all beneficiaries that all arrears will be paid as soon as the handing and taking processes are concluded and the grey areas are addressed. There should be no apprehension with regards to continuity or sustainability of the social investment program.
Plans are on to restructure the program to bridge information gaps on monitoring and evaluation mechanisms, as all beneficiaries of the social investment programs are assured of access to interventions designed for them. In another development, the ministry is set to mark the 2019 International Day for Persons Living with Disabilities, which is commemorated every 3rd of December.
That we all must join hands, especially in line with this year's theme, to promote the participation of persons with disabilities and their leadership, leveraging on the 17 goals of the 2030 Development Agenda for an inclusive society for all.
This is to raise awareness on the plight of persons living with disabilities and mobilize support for the protection of their rights. In Abuja, Ruth Aguala, NT News.
Sustainable Development Goal SDGs, Goal 3, seeks to ensure healthy lives and promote well-being for all people. But accelerating progress will require sustaining monitoring by all key players. Ikechi Kunduke reports that this is exactly the service that members of the 4th estate of the realm are pledging to provide through their annual health conference.
In 2015, Nigeria witnessed over 800 maternal deaths, with the Northeast recording the highest, while in 2019, about 104 babies between ages 1 to 5 died in Nasarawa State alone, UNICEF reveals.
We therefore call on the federal government to continue to provide every environment for our medical health experts to enable them to put their best for the growth of the sector.
For the Minister of Health, Dr. Sage Hanire, Nigeria will witness a positive change in the health sector as President Muhammadu Buhari has ordered the revitalization of over 9,000 primary health centers across the nation.
Nigeria is committed to meeting all these targets by implementing our policies and programs to ensure coverage for all citizens, particularly men, women, and children, who are the ones supposed to eat, most vulnerable to privation.
The problem is accuracy of our data. And then without accurate data, it becomes more difficult for you to plan to achieve universal health coverage because of ensuring wellness of everybody in society.
For fighting Ebola in Nigeria and promotion of public health, former Minister of Health, Professor Onyebuchi and Moji Majola were awarded respectively, among other awards. In Abuja, Ikechukundukwe, NTA News.
There will no longer be a hiding place for anyone who attempts or rapes any girl or woman in Nigeria. This is the assurance as Nigerian women unite across board to shame any culprit and ensure justice for victims. In this regard, a solidarity walk was staged by diverse women groups on the streets of Abuja and advocacy visits to key federal ministries. Nomso Damien Atti captured the scenario, she says, gives an insight into the women's resolve.
We condemn violence against women.
Diverse messages, songs, dances, chants, and any other thing that will draw attention to what they want to achieve.
No means no. No means no.
Say what has gone wrong, whether it's an uncle who have abused you, or a pastor, a priest, a teacher, or the housemaid.
Rape is a very barbaric act, and it's not welcomed at all in our society.
We are saying no because so many of our children, so many of our women have lived with that emotional and psychological torment. So we are here to name and shame anyone that does that.
If people don't speak, impunity will continue. At the police headquarters, the key demand is scaling support all the way.
Continue to take issues of gender-based violence and rape seriously and treat survivors with confidentiality and respect.
One of these, what your device for, I've been taking care of. I have to assure you, on behalf of the Federal Police, that we dispatch. Action will be taken.
One of the punishments being proposed for sex offenders is castration in Abuja. Momso Damien, that's NTA News.
You're watching Network News on the Network Service. Our next set of news reports will come from Lagos with Michael. It's all yours, Michael.
Thank you, Muhammad, and welcome to Lagos. Sani Tukura has emerged winner of the 2019 Miss Nigeria pageant. She beat 16 other finalists to emerge winner of the keenly contested competition. The event had in attendance Minister of Information and Culture Lai Mohammed and his counterpart from the Ministry of Women Affairs. Our Yusuf Jibo tells us more.
The 37 representatives all had hopes of winning the crown. However, only one must emerge overall winner, based on her poise, elegance, beauty, and brain.
Of the 4th, 43rd Miss Nigeria is...
It is a dream come true for Sani Tukura, who represented Taraba State, as she becomes the 43rd Miss Nigeria. Her aspirations, like her predecessors, is to impact lives positively.
It was an amazing experience because this was a goal I set out this year in January, and I'm so happy that I went for the auditions, did all the processes, came here. Camp was amazing. They took care of us. I enjoyed meeting every single contestant here, and here I am, the winner of 43rd Miss Nigeria. I can't believe it.
Minister of Information and Culture describes the event as one that helps promote the strength and resilience of women in a continued strive for nation building.
Now we have a lot of fashion designers today who are using our local fabrics, and we have many of them also who have we employ quite a sizable number of people, from porters to tailors to designers. So it's a very big economy that is around, beauty.
So empowering the woman has a multiplier effect. So if we want to get it right, and if we want to change the economy of Nigeria, we have to put the woman on the center stage.
The event, which started in 1957, has helped promote the rich cultural heritage of Nigeria. In Lagos, Awol Yusuf Joe, NTA News.
The federal government's determination to rid the country of fake products is yielding positive results as the Standards Organization of Nigeria (SON) destroys more than 5,000 substandard liquefied petroleum gas (LPG) cylinders. Ken Egbeluge will witness the destruction of the product at Amuwodof in Lagos. Reports that the market value of the cylinders was more than 50 million naira.
The cylinders, commonly referred to as cooking gas, were in sizes 50, 12.5, 3, and 6 kg with branded names. The Director of Inspectorate and Compliance Directorate, Son Obiora Manafo, says some of the cylinders failed the agency's mandatory tests. Others were not manufactured according to the expected specifications. He explained that the destruction of the cylinders is to send warning signals to importers of substandard products that it is no longer business as usual.
Give anybody approval to bring in 12.5 kg for camping. We gave people approval to bring 3 kg, 5 kg, and 6.25 kg as camping. Any other thing above that must be used with hoses. You extend you fit the hose to the cylinder and now extend it to your burner. That's the way it should be. So in this case, the importer brought in cylinders of 12.5 kg as camping. Gas that does not have odor is substandard. It means that it can leak in your house and you will not know.
To reduce the fire incidents caused by substandard cylinders, some urged Nigerians to always purchase only cylinders with its registration marks. In Lagos, Ken Egbeluge, NTA News.
This is NTA Network News. More reports after this commercial break. Please stay tuned.
Golden accessories. I shot bad.
Mommy, it's not too early to be dressed.
Too early, sure. And I guess I bought this now.
Okay.
You think I go miss all the small shop? I don't do rishi.
Mommy.
That's a case when they come out, they get side mirror, you think. And as for my women group, hey, not or nothing at all. Hey.
Now when you get out?
You're familiar, Jerry. My picking.
Mommy, your credit still there, so?
Of course now. Now we the best credit like water. You not trust Glow?
Glow and Mebo. Get 5 times your recharge to call all networks. Recharge with *555*PIN#.
You want to know where the party they shall let? Start here.
Glow Unlimited.
From our wonderful family, meet our active triplets. Mixology, for example, mixes well with drinks. Then enjoy every quick meal with Slurp It Off. And everywhere you go, there is Go-Gurt. Packed with healthy nutrition, nourishing vitamins, power of protein, strength of calcium, revitalizing energy. Hollandia yogurt is bursting with goodness inside and out. Hollandia yogurt, it's all good.
Your hogs are a comfort place for dropping in, for lazing around, and hanging out. So we've designed our hugs to be just as comfy, with a super-absorbent core to lock wetness away, and a soft, flexible waistband. Our most comfortable diaper keeps baby comfy at every angle. We'll never stop finding new ways to hug more like you. Huggies, your hugs inspire ours.
We made a reservation in the name of Mr. and Mrs. Lawrence for our honeymoon. Oh, congratulations. Just a minute, let me check. Reservation confirmed. Sir, I see, by the way. So tell me, what's your number?
Make and receive payments with just phone number with Pay Attitude. To get started, dial *569# to enjoy seamless transactions.
Thank you.
So, what's your number? Pay Attitude. all of you.
Them girls just they feel me now, cause I get the money, then they feel me now. But then they do me anyhow. I don't get the money, they wanna get it. Oh yeah, shake body. Oh yeah, move body. Make you ring alarm. Shake body.
Confidence is important in life's little moments. Strong teeth can help, even if they get her into trouble sometimes. A great smile is useful to break the ice. And making friends is easier when you know you have fresh breath. I give my family confidence. Pepsodent's Triple Protection 1, 2, 3. It's 3 toothpastes in 1 to give them cavity protection, white teeth, and fresh breath. The confidence of 3 toothpastes in 1. Pepsodent's Triple Protection 1, 2, 3.
Breakfast your day. Every day.
Nestle, good food, good life.
Why are you roaming about seeking white-collar jobs that are not there when you can easily be empowered and be an employer of labor? With or without school certificate, you can acquire skills, be an entrepreneur or any vocation of your choice with the National Directorate of Employment.
We all know government cannot do it alone. If you look at our population and the population of unemployed Nigerian youth, the white-collar job is not there. There is nothing government has not done for us to create jobs, provide employment to most of you. Please come to us. We are ready to help.
The National Directorate of Employment, NDE, is at your service. Don't look too far, as what you are looking for in Sokoto is in your Sokoto. Visit us in all the 36 states of the Federation as well as the FCT. For more information, NDE, Creating Employment, Dr. General, NDE, announcer.
Them girls just they feel me now, cause I get the money, then they feel me now. But then they do me anyhow. I don't get the money, they wanna get it. Oh yeah, shake body. Oh yeah, move body. Make you ring alarm. Oh yeah, shake body.
To our Abuja studio of the Network News, a total of 7,028 students graduated from Michael Okpara University of Agriculture, Umedike, Abia State, the 9th convocation of the university. 96 students graduated with first-class honors in various disciplines. Steve Lonai has details.
President Muhammad Buhari, who was represented at the occasion by the Deputy Executive Secretary of the National University Commission, Bello Gidado, assured the graduates of an enabling environment in the country to promote educational advancement of the citizens.
This administration, therefore, is committed to the educational development of our nation and will continue to put in place policies and enabling environment.
Chancellor of the University, the Emir of Gombe, His Royal Highness Alhaji ABUBAKAR III, and the Pro-Chancellor reminded the graduates that the certificate they received is a testimony that they are worthy to make significant contribution to the development of the country. The Vice-Chancellor, Professor Francis Otunta, said his administration is committed to promoting academic excellence, that we see the Ivory Tower come top in the committee of universities across the globe.
Agriculture is consciously addressing the issue of training as a fourth responsibility to ensure that its products can go from lab to lab.
An honorary degree of Doctor of Science in Agriculture, DSc, of the university was conferred on former Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Onyabo Azubike Ihejirika. Steve Lonai, Waukolo, NTA News.
You're still on to the Network News service of the NTA. We have more news after the break. Don't go away.
How hot is she?
Maybe a 7. How hot is he?
8.5.
Whoa, how hot is she? Very hot. Pick me. Just pick me, baby. Come pick me, girl. Man, I'm all ready for you.
So tasty.
He's so lucky.
Stop being jealous, man.
Mini-Me, taste the fun.
You can choose to manage everything else, but not your data. Get more out of life with the new Airtel data plans. Dial *141# today. Data is life.
Airtel, the smartphone network. Ever since he could hold the bat, Charles wanted to play like his big brother. Victor had skill that matched the best in the land. Even my little brother, drink your Dano milk and keep practicing. So that is what he did. And step by step, glass by glass, the boy grew in spirit and strength. Drink your Dano milk and be strong.
Also available in Dano Cool Cow, Dano Slim, and Dano Flavored Milk. Choose Dano. Choose goodness.
In today's world, it's tough being a woman. Thanks to So Clean, Nigeria's #1 detergent with stain magnet technology, doing washing is a whole lot faster and smarter too. Only So Clean has stain magnet technology with an advanced enzyme formula that pulls out even the toughest trapped dirt, just like powerful magnets. No wonder Nigerians love So Clean. So Clean, for a faster, brighter, cleaner wash.
It is another morning. Not just an ordinary time. Start of a new day. A new beginning. As you prepare everyone for the long day ahead, just anything is not enough. It is only you who makes breakfast special. You make them creamy. You make them tasty. You add vitamins and nutrients we need for a delightful, healthy start to the day.
So start your day right with Hollandia Evap.
Hollandia Evap. Life tastes different. Hollandia.
In a country filled with different and unique kinds of people, there's no such thing as one size fits all for everything, especially sleep. That's why there's a mocha specially made for you. The Pepper Dem Gang, the Mamas, the Daddies, the Papas, the Zaddies, the Fit Fam, and I cannot come and go and kill myself. Whoever you are, there's a Muka for you. Visit www.muka.com.
Them girls just they feel me now, cause I get some money, they feel me now. But then they do me anyhow. I don't get some money, they want I shake body. Oh yeah, move body. Make you ring alarm. Oh yeah, shake body.
In sports, Ekiti and Kwara states emerged champions of the